back on the tail of Gunnar. He's looking to make an overtake already. Down the inside he goes.
Is he gonna He's gonna do it!
Oh, with Hackett now up into P9. Down the inside he goes. Another aggressive move on the other Mercedes driver. Is he gonna make a mistake? Doesn't look like.
Problem is, if he goes.
Oh, that's nice for Broad Adam, moving up to P7.
As he's currently looking to gain about 3 or 4 points. Oh, and is Nellboy going to go for it down the inside of Waza? Seems like he is, and he makes up that position. Beautiful overtake by Nellboy.
12 races, multiple divisions, 20 drivers.
All that sound good? Then why not join us now ahead of the new season? The link to our Discord will be in the description, and we hope to see you on track with us.
Delta T Racing.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Delta T Racing. We are here for round 6 of season 14 in Azerbaijan on the streets of Baku. A lap around here looks more like a speedrun of the film The Maze Runner than an F1 circuit. And with a squiggly worm pit lane entrance waiting to claim your front wing, we are on for a race with plenty of carnage. You are watching Division 2 with me, Grellis33. Let's get into this. Just while we wait for the drivers to set up their cars, get fuel in, and prepare themselves mentally, what is one of the most testing tracks on the calendar, I'll get up some of the information for our viewing, and we will take a quick look at the standings as of last race. There it was in the Netherlands. So we actually had a change of leader in the Drivers' Championship after Havakona had an absolute nightmare DNFing. Johnny would go on to win and take that lead in the Drivers' Championship. Pipke obtaining P3, E Summers in P4, and Bog in P5 after a few messy races. The constructor standings still look very similar as to last week. The Racing Bulls leading the way by a good amount of points there. What's that? 19 points between those two at the front. Ferrari are hot on their heels though. With the consistency they have shown, they will not be easy to beat over the last few races of the season. Haas are the next in line, third. A bit of a gap between them and the front two, as well as McLaren and Red Bull sort of being a little bit of a pack there on the constructors side of the things. Either 5 teams all tailing off. They need to score some big points if they want to take the Constructors' Championship. So then, few cars out on track. Let's see who's first. Is it? Looks like it's Johnny. P5, I think it was for Johnny here last night in Division 1. A very good result considering that he's the first time he's jumped up into a Division 1 race this season. Good evening, Andre. On a crash out today? Well, hopefully not. He had a bit of a stinker yesterday after receiving a drive-through penalty, sort of 4 or 5 laps into the race because of speeding under a VSC. That was when he was leading the race in P1, so he does not want any more heartbreak. But we will stay on board with Johnny as he sees an Alpine stricken in the runoff of turn 2. That shall hopefully not distract him too much as he starts his flying lap. DRS is wide open. ERS is actually harvesting at the moment. Seems to be using too much of that battery. There we go, he's turned it on now. That's very late in the straight for my liking, but everyone uses their ERS and DRS differently. Some good apex hits through the third and fourth corner. That curve on the inside of 4 is very tricky, quite easy to take far too much and just kick the rear out, losing you all the time in the world on the traction out of it. A tricky set of corners going into the castle section. You can take a lot of that curve on the inside, but don't take any here because there's 2 big walls waiting for you either side. You go from left to left and to right again. Come out to another left-hander up the hill. This is flat out all the way through. DRS being used once again, a heavy braking zone with a big sausage curb on the inside waiting to throw you into the outside wall. This is a good lap for Johnny so far. penultimate corner, the last time you'll brake for this entire lap. You want to get out as best as possible to give you the best run all the way through these S's and down the start finish straight. DRS detection hasn't even gone past yet. There it is. The DRS will be turned on in a couple of seconds. It is on now. 11% battery for the Racing Bull. He will not have anything to push him over the line. Just 207 miles an hour puts a pace of a 140.9 to the rest of the field. So if you want to get pole, gotta go quicker than that. And D. Summers says, okay then, she'll beat you by almost half a second. Fantastic lap from the McLaren. Barry Bogorowski, 8/10 off. He will be a little bit disappointed with that lap, but I'm sure he will be back out again at some point to set another lap. We'll just change up the fastest lap there and see all the times they've done. I'm not sure, usually you can see a little bit more interesting other than that. Anyway. Who else have we got across the line? We've got a Mercedes. Maybe Tom, no, not Tom Putty, must be Brother Adam. Yes, he sets a 42.7. A little bit slower than he would have liked. Young Exility, I believe this is his first race here in DTR in season 4. It's P7 now and quickly shoots up into P2. Just pips Johnny there. Well, he pips Johnny. That's almost a mouthful. Hummer is just about in the 41s, and Pombeer is just about not in the 41s. Haven't Connor, who's P2 with a 40.7. There's an Alpine off at turn 1. I don't know if he was getting out of the way of drivers or just went deep. Don't be there too long. He's still there. Can he get back on track? Who is it? Is it Rush? No. What on earth is going on back there? Jones? Nope. Jones is on a lap though. We'll stay on board with him, try and avoid whatever carnage that is at turn 1 and 2. Again, another driver who is here for the first time in DTR season 14. Off-board. There's some good off-board cameras around this track. There's one in that section there, right on the wall. Is just stay stationary. Really get a good sense of how fast the drivers are coming through that part of the track. 0% battery as he crosses the line, maybe a bit overused through the rest of the lap. Sets a 141.0 to take himself P6. Goes straight on at turn 1. Must be letting the Aston Martin pass. That's very kind of him. Looking at the other Aston Martin of the Catsis, he's set a 41.096. Not a bad lap from him. Drivers pulling over into the... Now we've got Adam, yes, he's into the pits as well. Composite. It's his teammate actually who's just gone over the line, but he's starting a lap. Composite will be going on for his lap right now. Not going on for his lap, but he's doing his lap. No, maybe he's finished his lap. He's a lot over the time, not got much battery in the car. Let's see. One more down here. Skipper and Andre is about to finish that. We get a nice tow actually from the kicks out in front. He's got lots of battery left in the car, but not much of the actual laps worth of battery. A 141.2. That makes me think he's got quite a lot of downforce on that Ferrari. Who else have we got? The other Mercedes of Tom Putty is just about to start his lap. Get a flag. Actually, that's the end of the lap, not for Skipper. Taking a good amount of that curve on the inside of turn 2. Gets the battery on early. A little bit different to how we saw Johnny do it earlier. This is my preferred method. Get the battery on for as long as possible early on. Get the acceleration in and you have more pace for a longer stint of that straight. Just touches that curve on the inside. Perfect apex there. Getting well over to the right for this left-right. Fantastic line actually through those two corners. Taking just enough curb on the left to not hit the wall and avoiding that big sausage curve on the right hand side to not settle the car. Quite hesitant actually into the counter section there. A bit of speed taken off really that didn't need to be. Of course, this is his first lap. It is only a banker as for now. There's plenty of time to be setting faster laps later on. Como just jumped up to P2 in the Red Bull. stick on off board though with the Mercedes. First lap set. It's a purple sector 2, but I don't know if that's fastest or just a personal best. It looks like it was just a best. Battery is almost finished as he comes across the DRS line. The DRS is opened there. Flashing profusely for some reason. Interesting. I'm not sure if that will be shown on stream with the FPS difference, but a 140.413 will do. That puts him on provisional pole by a very small margin. I'm sure those behind him will be straight out with a set of fresh softs to try and beat that. Just having a look. We've got Barry Bogrovsky's. He's on a lap, but is validated. Andre on a lap as well as Skipper. I think he's done his lap. He's on the back. It's Homer's just done his lap, so I believe he's going to be Andre and set his fastest lap, hopefully, in qualifying. Well done through there. As a Ferrari driver, that's always a little bit more scary, going back to Charles Leclerc's I am stupid moment in qualifying. Yellow flags ahead, but that is just for people making sure they are well out of the way. Thank you very much, Mr. Red Bull. Come out of that inside curve taken gives him a brilliant run into the final section of this course. Not always easy flat through there with a bit of tyre wear, especially if the tyre wear is very rear biased. You can get a bit of a slide on with some ERS assistance. He pulls into the pits and ruins it for me. I thought he was going to settle that. Very, very aggressive turn in the second corner there for Happy Connor. There's definitely a limit of how much you can take. Just the unsettledness of the car and a few attempts at turning in for turn 3 there. Just first turn in went much more than he thought it would. Looked like he was going to take the inside left tyre off. Tell you what though. Yes, actually. Didn't unsettle the car that much on the inside there. Just got a little bit wide and scraped the wall on the left hand side. Don't think that'll be any damage. Certainly can't see any as Johnny goes on and sets a lap almost a tenth faster than Tom Putty for a new provisional pole time of a 140.338. And McConnell, as his teammate, will be very appreciative of his teammate doing the business for him, but will want to go faster, of course. Especially after last week losing the lead in the driver's standings. Decent amount of battery, not using just too much. He wants to save a little bit to build up that speed as he comes down the straight now with the DRS to aid him, of course. He pits, not happy with the lap. There was a few mistakes on that lap. I'm not all too surprised he's pulled in there. Itchy on a lap. Looks like he's got the hat. The Bogdarovsky. Well, it is Bogdarovsky. There's only one hat on the grid tonight. Just watching the board, Pombier's gone across the line to set a 140.572. E5 is a strong position for him for now. Avlo also has just crossed the line. I'm not sure if that was to finish his lap or not. We'll just quickly jump down to him. Oh, it looks like he's going to start his lap. Got plenty of battery in that Aston Martin. Young Agility is not on a lap, but not on an out lap. He's going to be pulling into the pit lane with the fuel light flashing. His second out lap actually. He's not used any of the battery. In fact, I might be his new fastest time at 40.4. Appealing into the pit with a low fuel light on that. So it's surprisingly hard to keep up with these guys in this track. I don't know why. It's longer laps. You expect it to be a little bit easier. Let's the Red Bull go there. Piney Penguin is the next man to set head time. He goes for a 140.5. That's a good lap from him. track that I don't think he loves too much, especially with a driving style a little more aggressive than the others. He's on a lap. Barry Bugger obviously has just started his lap. He's come out of turn 2. We've got an Aston Martin of Pavlo. He's going to finish his lap. Let's go. That's good, sorry. Let's go and watch him. DRS open now. A little bit of battery left to burn, but that's going to run out now. The green bar is gone. He will be using just the engine to get him across the line. P16 at 141.966 just about etches into the 41s. Leaves Kazingal and Composite out in the 40. Yellow flag second one. I believe that's just for people coming out of the pits, going slow, making sure they do not interfere anyone on laps. On Penguin, I think. Just going through the last. Some people stopped in the final sector of the track. Let's not go too slowly. I know you want to set a decent lap. You've got plenty of space to build the speed up. Zingle is on and out lap. We'll go back onto Bog. He is almost finished on his next lap. 40.8 had him up right at the top early on. What can he do now? Across the line, he's actually taken a bit of a right turn across the line. It's a little bit slower. It's easier to stay on the left-hand side and just gain a few thousands, which can make a difference sometimes. A P7, which turns into a P8 after Hummer, goes on pole with a 40.294. These times, I'll tell you what, for a track that is as long as this, are really, really close. This is fantastic. Scones is in the wall at turn 1. Not too sure what's happened there. He's been disqualified from the session for parking in a dangerous location. That's a bit interesting. See what that was all about maybe later on. I'll keep an eye on the chat to notify you if he says anything himself. A lot of people now on laps. The timer, unfortunately, we can't see because of the yellow flags. There we go, 1 minute 40 left. You need to get out now. You want to set a time. Looks like whoever's in the pits there, the Alpine is done for this session, I believe. Yes, it is Piney Penguin. He normally does a 1 or 2 laps. A slightly offset to the other drivers. Skipper, he's just come across the line. Is to start lap. Andre goes P1 with the first man to break into the 39s at 39.979, makes him almost over 3 tenths faster than the second man, Homer GP1 in P2. I think he's not got enough time to set another lap after he set his earlier on. We have a McLaren coming towards the start-finish straight. That's not the right one though. It's going to be Kazingal. Pipkey is out. He's in turn 2. But if maybe he just got the braking wrong there and decided that he was just going to sack the lap off. Keeping an eye on the board more so than the guy we are watching, just to see who we have improved or not. We've got a Mercedes crossing the line, no improvement there. It looks like Summers goes and sets another pole time at a very, very small amount quicker than Andre, still in the 39.9s. Johnny comes across the line, but seemed to improve 88 thousandths slower than his previous lap. 2 Aston Martins now, Lekatsis and Pavlo. Lekatsis, the first of the 2, he will improve to P10 of 40.7, and Pavlo will set. He's actually invalidated his lap. Is that everyone? Looks like Connor's going quickly. Yes, he is. He must have only just about got across the line. Although there might be actually a couple of guys behind him also on laps. Yes, that's Pombeer. The 2 Mercedes potentially. Actually, we might have a few laps left to go. Johnny didn't improve on his last lap. We just saw 88 thousandths the difference between his fastest and the lap he just did. But maybe he's going for another one. with what battery and fuel he has left. Andre has finished for the time being. We'll go back on with Havoc Connor as he's in the final few corners of this lap. DRS is fully depleted, none left for you to use, sir. The DRS is all you're going to get. Get into the pits. He's finished. He will only be P12. He'll be disappointed with that after the pole position in Div 1 yesterday. We got Pombeer just finishing his final lap. He will he's actually a second slower. Brother Adam moves up to P13 with a 40.9. Another Red Bull driver of Young Exility goes to P7 at 40.498. 2 extra positions for you, sir. That's brilliant stuff there. And that must be it now. Yeah, it must be. Dean Summers is your pole position. His controller died. Ah, that is a real shame. Still P6. The Ferrari driver isn't all too bad. But anyway, as I was saying, Dean Summers takes pole position. Only just about pips Andre. Those two, the only drivers in the 139's Hummer in the 40.294, followed by Johnny Gaming, 40.3. Tom Putty is fit. Or just waiting for the guys to pit. Pitke with his dead controller manages to retain P6. I'm sure he could have been on for an even better lap to keep those Ferrari drivers as consistent as possible. I mean, they're still the most consistent drivers so far, it looks like. Young Agility in the Red Bull. So E7 in his first race for DTR. He's actually said, lovely, my vibrations went bye-bye. So might have said that lap. The controller that wasn't vibrating. Yes, Andre, 0.014 difference on pole. However, after watching yesterday's race, you may have seen pole position didn't come out first in turn 1. So there's still plenty to be done from P2. Just have a quick look down at the rest of your drivers. Scones was disqualified for parking at turn 1. As you can read, the rest I do not go through all of them, unfortunately. And they got very close qualifying there. I mean, that's what you love to see. Times that are so close together. Who was that? Who was that what? Drivers, of course, will be absolutely killing themselves at the thought of the degradation around this track. The rear degradation you pick up after even just a few laps is so far worse than the front. You can have some real oversteer issues. Which, of course, is bad on the one hand, but it means you won't be understeering. Pros and cons for sure. Oh, right. Yeah, well, you're right, but I actually spoke to the driver who finished on pole yesterday, and he had a genuinely bad start. And he actually lost P1 in turn 1. That was never the plan in his mind from the start, but he was always going to try and hold the rest of the try and give his teammate the best of chances. Then, of course, his teammate decided that he wanted to get a drive-through penalty under VSC while leading top division. Hey-oh. He might do better tonight, even though he's qualified a little bit further down than I'm sure he would have liked. Make sure we have all of the information available. Let's take a look at tyres. If I remember where it is, there it is. The strategy around here can be an interesting one, especially when safety cars come into the mix. Only the one full safety car yesterday that came out right at the very end, make it a 2-lap sprint. The finish line, lots of carnage there. Will we see that again today? Hopefully yes, and hopefully no, depending on what your name is. Anyway, he needs to not get a drive-through. Well, yeah, exactly. Well, no one wants a drive-through. It's such a horrendous penalty to receive, breaking what is most of the time not even a half a second's worth of delta. So yeah, I'm surprised it's such a large penalty. Anyway, Looking at tyres, you've got the front 4 on the mediums. Tom Putty deciding to go slightly on the white-walled hard tyre. It's good on that Mercedes, I must admit. The rest behind him until Lakatis on the medium. Abbott Connor and Brother Adam on the medium. Well, Skipper hard. That's 3 on mediums. And Jones has been disqualified again. The race hasn't even started and he's been disqualified twice. That is quite impressive for a man who's not raced here yet. Good to see a good mix of teams up at the front of the pack. Though Ferrari, of course, not straying too far from the front with their second man, Pipke, in 6. Tiny Penguin joins his teammate on the grid early on after disqualifying himself for whatever, I don't know. We'll find out maybe at the end. We'll jump on board with Hummer for the start, as we usually do. P3 is a decent look at the front 2 guys, and then you can always look back to see what chaos is going on behind. Hopefully everyone makes it into their grid box just fine. Big gap between the guys right at the back and people that are already on the grid. Here we go now with Hummer. He jumps into his E3 spot. P. Summers taking a slightly leftward angle on his grid spot. Wants to make sure he's got Andre covered as soon as the lights go out. Last few drivers now just getting into their spots. Like I say, we'll jump on board with the P3 man Hummer. A few people disqualifying their grid boxes going too far over. And here we go. The revs build, the lights go on, and they go out in 3, 2, 1. No, they were held for a long time, always throws you off. Looks like the Red Bull's actually been bogged down. Didn't have the revs high enough to get the wheel spinning. There's plenty of carnage already, as we've seen a bit of damage potentially between two or three drivers back there. We'll just look right at the top, actually. Summers and Andre are flying away from the rest behind them. So hard to see, these cameras are so low. Who is with who? Of course, we'll take a look after the first couple of laps at positions gained and lost. Too wide for a couple of people here going into turn 3. A bit of argy-bargy, but that's a decent move, not too dirty. Bit of damage on the part of, I think it was the Haas of Barry Bogorovsky. Yes, the right end plate is missing, as well as Pombeers. Not a bad camera angle there, actually. Starting to come through line of stern. Composites had an issue at the start. He's got an entire front right side of the wing missing, and Piney's out. He's crashed. Oh, there's all sorts of carnage going on. Piney has hit the wall on the exit of the castle section. Potentially, someone's gone into him. A huge pile up, a 10-second penalty. Abbott Connor, and it's lap 1. It's a shame I missed some of that. That looked absolutely horrendous. Abbott Connor causing havoc, as his name suggests. To say, we're looking at the wrong car there. He doesn't seem to have any damage, though. Have a quick look at the positions gained and lost. Not too many, actually. Abbott Connor did well to start, although that 10-second penalty will definitely pull him back at the end. 5 positions gained for him, as well as Gazingle in P12. Tom Putty and Brother Adam are 2 biggest losers, making Mercedes their biggest losers. We've got a couple of pitters in Pipke and Young Exility. Potentially some damage for those 2 guys. It wasn't a full safety car, actually. It was just a VSC. We're back under green flags. P. Summers, Andre and Hummer will absolutely be loving this. Bit of a breather for their tyres, even though they've only done a sector and a half. They can get back underway. Piney is not happy in the chat, not sure what happened to him. Getting a PB in quality. Oh, okay, he got a personal best in quality, but fortunately that's now gone down the drain. He's had a rough couple of races recently. O'Connor, however, up 7 positions after those pitters, and Single up 9. That off now, and we've had a good look. The gap's opening up already. I mean, Tom Putty's the first man of everyone to be in DRS. Andre just dipping in and out of that 1 second gap, and now Tom Putty's out of it as well. Looks like O'Connor is just way quicker than actually. A bit all over the place. The Mercedes driver there, he's on the hard tyre versus the medium that will always be slower in these first few laps. Ombier on the medium tyre in the Williams, right on the back of Zingle. He'll be looking to make a move in what I assume is now a activated DRS zone, even with the VSC we had. Yeah, DRS is activated. Andre sets the fastest lap of the race for now. And Putty in the DRS, but nowhere near close enough to gain any moves on the driver ahead. The McLaren might be under threat here from Ombier. DRS open. DRS not on, actually. Looks like he's just going to stay out of it for now. Surprised he didn't go for the move there. He definitely had the DRS to make. Ooh, bit of a slide out of turn 2. Do not want to do that too much, as we're only on lap 3. That will not do the tyres any good at all. Back up to the top. Andre is not letting Summers run away with this. He will be right on his tail all the way through sector 2. Keep that DRS going. And hopefully he'll make a move into turn 1. Oh, a little bit of it. Oh, 2 bangs there for D Summers through the castle section. One on the left and one on the right for good measure. Don't think he picked up any damage, but a few little bits and pieces came off the wall as particle effects. Got a yellow flag in the castle section for Pombier. Pombier's round. Oh, careful. What are you doing? Oh, dear. We saw him struggling with the rear tyres in turn 3. Looks like he might have had the same issue. Got on the throttle too much. It's pulled out a virtual safety car by the looks of it. His front wing is completely gone. That'll be strewed across the track in the leading up parts to the castle section. Yeah, fresh set of tyres and a fresh front wing for that Williams driver. That is a shame. He looked to be having quite a good race up until that point. Plenty of pace in that car. Of course, that means that D Summers was safe from the DRS of the Ferrari behind him. But having Connor diving into the pits, he'll be serving his 10-second penalty. Probably not a bad idea to serve that now. Early pit stop, but if you're going for a 2-stop, that should be fine. Just extend your second and third stint ever so slightly. Although his teammate is blocked as well. It held him up even more than he was going to be held up already after serving in 10 seconds. That is not great communication between those two. Zingle's got a driving penalty for speeding under the VSC, sorry. That is disgusting for the McLaren driver. Such a massive penalty to take for such a small mistake. Back up top, we've got 3 drivers, all within DRS here. This should be fantastic stuff to watch. Dirty air makes this track so much harder. Tony has to drive through as well? You're joking. Oh my word. The championship leader, after pitting, losing all of that time for a fresh set of tyres, I'm not sure if he took a new wing or not, now has to go into the pit again, drive through it. I mean, I don't know what the time loss is, but he's going to be well down in the sort of 14th, 15th position at least, I'd have thought. Rookie error for a man who watched O'Connor throw away his race yesterday with a drive-through penalty. Tom Putty has a 10-second penalty. I believe that was for the skirmish we had earlier after Piney Penguin took his wheel off through the castle section. A bump or two made between a couple of drivers. Oh, just dropped out of the DRS, although he has got it for this back straight after a massive bit of oversteer coming onto the straight. He's not got the DRS open. He's on. Maybe just a bug. Bombier is in and out of the pits with his fresh wing and tyres. Pipke sets a new fastest lap and overtakes Johnny in the process. Never mind, he's in the pits. Ignore me. Zingle comes out after pitting for his drive-through penalty, just ahead of Pipke. Oh, steady on. There's a wall there. Further Adam, another fastest lap for a man who set, the man who took a new set of tyres very recently. DRS and ERS doing him no favours there. Looks like the two RPs are coming together. I haven't got him, got too deep. Oh my word. Don't do that too much. Oh, and he's hit the wall again, but that might have been just a bit of desync actually. After trying to make sure he retained the position into turn 3, got on the brakes perhaps a little bit too late and decided to give us a nice big scare into that right hand side wall. Clips it, but no damage for now. Going back up to the top 3, they are on the start-finish straight almost. Not sure if these are even fastest corners. They shouldn't be because they're completely flat. DRS for both the Ferrari and the Red Bull, but the Ferrari is just far too far behind really to make a move. Even with the DRS and ERS for the straight, as long as it is, not going to get anywhere near close enough to make a dive bomb attempt. Hummer even lost time there to the Ferrari. Happy to just drive their race for now. Race their race, keep it intact, keep it out of the walls, although we did see Summers hit 2 of them earlier. There's plenty of places and points to be gained by just having a safe race. We don't want to see that. We want to see some fantastic moves. DRS train means that Zingle holding up 4 drivers behind him. No moves made at all. That's a late break from Young Exility there, just about keeps it out of the back of the Ferrari. His front wing will live to see another day, or maybe it won't. That is the end plate gone. Bit of commentator's curse there, my apologies. Evan Connor sees the opportunity to go down the inside of the Red Bull driver. Absolutely smashes it on the brakes though. Yeah, I think Young Exility, despite trying to fend that, he knew that position lost to the man in second in the driver standings at the moment. A little bit of lagginess seems from him, and then we've got Aston Martin who spun. Please don't hit anyone. That's fine. Yep, you can keep going now. Well done. Ooh, front wing on the left hand side completely gone for Pablo. That is going to have to be replaced on this lap. This is not good news for Johnny. In fact, he's going to be held up by this Aston Martin in the last few corners. Might be dropped by the guys in front. Going up to the top 3, Andre's into the pits after 7 laps on the medium tyres. He will set himself up for an undercut on D Summers in P1. Fresh set of hard tyres on for him. Summers will be absolutely gunning it now. He does not want to be undercut by the Ferrari driver. Going back to these guys. Pablo's actually been overtaken by Johnny in the last few corners there. He's just about managed to get DRS. Or maybe not no DRS for Johnny. He's very close. I think Gorovsky also makes a position on the Aston Martin who didn't pit for a new wing, funnily enough. Whoa! Oh no, the McLaren's out! Zingle pushed wide into the barrier at turn 1 by the Red Bull of Young Exility. Full course safety car. Andre will be absolutely fuming after trying to go for the undercut on D Summers in P1. That gives him an absolutely massive break. He can pit now absolutely free of any threat from people behind. Tom Putty will serve his 10 seconds under the safety car, I shall imagine. Going back down to where Single lost his wheel in turn 1. We've got Scones coming through. He will pass the safety car as they wait for the leader. I'll be waiting a while. I assume he will be going into the pits to get a fresh set of hards. Lap 7's an early point to try and take a one-stop of a hard tyre to the end of this race. Probably physically doable. They may not puncture. You will absolutely be all over the shop with the rear degradation. Nice and safe hit entrance. Can be dangerous here with the quick left, right, left, just to make sure the drivers slow down. I assume that's why it's not just a straight line in. Fresh set of tyres for the McLaren driver. What were they? I didn't see. Yeah, hard tyres. Should have expected that, really. Tom Putty also pits. He'll be going on to a fresh set of mediums after he serves his 10-second penalty. Andre still comes out ahead of Hummer, which is reasonably impressive. He doesn't actually lose out due to that safety car, which is good for him, although I'm sure he was really excited to try and make the undercut work. The Cactus up into P4. Good stuff from him. In fact, after the carnage we've had, once we've all got the guys out of the pits, see what the positions are looking like from where they started. Still plenty of pits. I would try and keep up with it, but there's far too much going on. Pavlo has stayed out. Well, as the two RBs, they've only recently just got in their hard tyres. No point in them pitting under this full safety car. Brother Adam also stays out on his 6-lap-old hards. Still very doable for a one stop after he's used up those hards from here. Everyone else though is either on very fresh sets of tyres or tyres they've already just done basically an outlap under the delta of the safety car. Composite's still in the pits. He will take a fresh set of tyres there. That looks like the hard tyre with 1 lap on them already. Eventually he started on those, I can't remember. Pombeer will finish us off in E17 to DNFs as of lap 8. Will we have any more later on? We will have to wait to find out. There it is, the position changes. Mirror, hello, Andre Go. I couldn't do it yesterday, I was too weak. Yeah, P2 for Andre. It's a shame if you've only just joined. He was going for the undercut on D Summers after putting a lap early, and then safety car came out because of Kazingle being put into the wall at turn 1, potentially a push from the Red Bull driver of Young Zelity. I'm sure that will go to the stewards after the race has concluded. Anyway, we're going to have a look at the positions gained and lost. I assume that is all the pit stops done, unless anyone wants to get a new fresh set of tyres now, which I kind of doubt. B. Summers, the man who started on pole, retains his P1. Andre and Hummer do the same, retaining their body. The Katsis and Havoc Connor up 7 positions each. That's fantastic for Havoc Connor, considering he had a 10-second penalty to serve earlier on as well. Donny losing out 2 positions after a little bit of bad fortune with his drive-through under the BSC. Tom Putty as well, down 2 positions. Slightly better than his teammates are doing slightly better than he is. It was gained after having lost some earlier on. Pavlo, we saw half spun the right-hander before the castle section. He's still being P8 with 8 positions gained is still fantastic for him after the 8 laps completed. Skipper up 5, Brother Adam 3 as I mentioned, NLD Rush up 4. Unfortunately, the ever so consistent Ferrari driver Pipke is down 6 positions in P12, followed by another 6 position drop by Young Exility in P13. Barry Bogarowski not having fun at all. A mediocre race, I think he would agree, yesterday in Division 1 meant that he did not have the best of practice coming in Division 2. He was doing plenty of practice earlier, didn't get the lobby open a little bit later than usual. Not paying off just yet, still plenty of laps to go. Scones, the man who's managed to get himself disqualified twice already, is in P15, up 4 places, of course, from the back of the grid after he was disqualified in qualifying. Composite up 2 positions, and Pombeer 8 positions lost after he had his issues with the rear tyres, just basically destroying themselves. Looks like we're going to do one more lap under the safety car whilst we wait for those 2 or 3 guys at the back make it onto the train. Must try and remember to get a clip to show when we do have these safety cars. Didn't actually replay of anything earlier on. Always forget to do it. Just take the position changes off. Have a quick look actually at tyres while they go around. Decent mix, although of course all on the medium and hard tyres. No soft tyres around here unless you have only a few laps left of the race to go. They which absolutely blister up or grain up or whatever it is around this track. I don't know what they do in real life. They wear a hell of a lot. So as I say, the medium and hard tyre, the tyre of choice for all on track at the moment. 2 or 3 laps predominantly of wear on each car, other than a few who stayed out under the safety car. 2 RBs, of course, leading the championships respectively. Avocado is actually ahead of the championship leader, Johnny. They're both obviously leading the constructor. We get your fun facts. I don't have any fun facts about Azerbaijan. I did commentating a long time ago, and if that's where you're remembering from, I did like a fun fact every race. As a co-commentator, I was just sort of like, what can I do to add something to the entire thing? And I decided to get some fun facts from the race, or for the country or the track or whatever it was. Didn't have any, unfortunately. If you could find some, entertain me in the chat, then that'd be brilliant. You do something for me. Of course, you don't have to do that, but you know, if you find something interesting, then do share. Anyway, the safety car is going to be in this lap as Pombeer just about catches the back of the grid. I'm sure he'll be there by the time D Summers has put his foot to the floor. With a straight as long as this, you're almost guaranteeing that the race leader is going to leave it as long and as late as possible to put his foot down, give the guy behind him minimal chance to get any sort of slipstream and ERS off to take a dive into turn 1 and get back to the just the intervals on the left hand side. He's stopped weaving. He's not gone just yet. Watching and waiting behind are the rest of the pack, and he's gone ERS and foot to the floor. Andre is napping a little bit of Hummer, however, and Lacatz is straight on it. We could see a move here for the Aston Martin. We'll keep an eye on behind as well. No, oh, not an intentional move, but a late braking maneuver means he has to take avoiding action at the Red Bull into turn 1. That was almost brown pants for him. Too wide for a couple of drivers here. That is well done for those two. Looks like they just about got through with NLD Rush and Skipper behind. It's a big lockup. I think that might have been Young Exility, although I'm not 100% sure. Too wide again up front. That's Skipper and NLD Rush into turn 3. NLD Rush makes a move on Skipper, very, very cautious, although maybe hit the inside wall. That's damage for the Aston Martin, in fact, I've seen on Pablo. Another lock-up, it must have been D-Rush, I've just seen that there. Ipke making moves, he's definitely got much more pace than he would think for man in P12, or you would think, sorry, for a man in P12. So hard to keep up with all this. Try our best though. We've got a bit of bumping going on here. Ipke and Bog potentially. Again, looks like they've made it through the castle section okay this time after the carnage that was lap 1. Opposite finishes off the castle section in last. We've got a bit of a gap forming actually after Pablo lost his front wing, and that's a big lockup on the rear tyres for Brother Madden. Sends the car flying through the left-hand side of that track. Baku has a museum of miniature books. Well, that is it's quite interesting actually. I'm not sure why you would have that. Oh, here's the camera I wanted earlier. Oh no, it's gone. Can I get it back? No. D Summers sets the new fastest lap of a 1:43.737. Brother Adam looks to be making a move on Pablo. He's not pitting, even though he's got major damage on the front wing. He's gone defensive against Skipper into turn 1, but that front wing damage is going to be holding him back so much through sector 2 of this track. We've got Scones making an overtake and a little bit of racing going on there just ahead of them. Young Exility and D-Rush going at it again. He's made a move on the Williams driver. Pipke almost goes to the back. And a bit of a concertina effect, as Martin Brundle would say, has put almost 3 drivers into the back of one another like dominoes at turn 3 there. Andre again, just doing what he's done earlier, keeping it in the DRS gap. Homer just out of it. Lakatis as well, just out of it. Connor actually gained a position on Tom Putty I've not seen, and Johnny is dropping off the back of those two. Still so close from P9 down to P15, all of them in DRS detection. Pavlo holding them up. People will want to get a move done as soon as possible. I should think he gets it done on the main straight. That's very close, but just keeps his front wing out of the back of that very slow and dangerous Aston Martin. And it doesn't do it that time. He's round. Front left end plate is gone. Young Exility, I believe, has hit the Talbot of Skipper as he was going to try and avoid. Pipke, that's dangerous. The road we're taking off there. Okay, let me try and retrack what happened. Skipper goes for the move on the Pablo into the final braking zone. Doesn't quite do it. Has to turn in very late, but turns across. Young Exility, they both take a little bit of time to get out of the way. Scone's got a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Rookie error there. He's pulled in and actually retired from the session. That is a shame. Front guys going on reasonably well. He actually has got back ahead of Avocado. I assume that was down the main straight. They have the largest KFC in the world. Yes, I think that was my fun fact from a long while ago. They have the largest KFC in the world. Not sure why they would want the largest KFC in the world. Reason behind that, or if KFC just decided they were going to do that. Pablo again, just a bit of a danger on track. With that front wing damage as bad as it is. So slow through some of these corners. It's catching the guys behind completely off guard. I'm sure that Bogorovsky will be effing and jeffing plenty this race. Gaps forming between the front 9 all over a second. Now no DRS for them. The first man with DRS is the man we are on board with. NLD rushing the Williams, getting so close to Aston Martin through the last few corners. He can't take the pace through without the front wing. A big bash into the left-hand side wall for the Williams driver. He looks to be okay with damage. He's going to make a move on the Aston Martin, and Bogorovsky almost makes a move on both of them. He's got the pace to try and do the Williams into turn 1. Not quite this time. A shame he got blocked off there by the Aston Martin. Looked like he might have made 2 for 1 into turn 1, but he has got past the Aston Martin. I'm sure he won't be too disappointed with that. Look how early the Aston Martin's braking. See the DRS close as soon as he jumps on the brakes much earlier than Bog in the Haas. Oh, that's another curb taken for the Williams driver. That's a position loss for him. Unsettled the car so much you lose all turning as the tyres literally come up and off the ground. That's a nice couple of moves from Barry Bogorovsky in places you wouldn't normally see moves. Of course, due to a bit of luck himself. How on earth this Aston Martin is still going with that front wing damage, I do not know. Pipke right at the back. Did he pit again? He stopped 3 times, so I think he did. Yeah, fresh hards for the Ferrari driver. Azerbaijan have a carpet-shaped wing. Carpet shape? What shape is a carpet? I'm being stupid. Like a roll of carpet? I have no idea. Let me know. We have a couple of moves because of Pitters Lakatis is into the pits, or some fresh medium tyres, I believe that was. That loads a few drivers out there, a few more getting past in by Barry Bogrovsky and NLD Rush. Yep, that's a couple of places gained there. Quieting down now, actually. Definitely easier for me to pay attention to what's going on, although what those pits a little late. Speaking of catching pits late, Pavlo still hasn't pitted. Composites is on the back of him now. Hey, it's like a dry rolled up rug. Okay, so I was right with the rolled up. I assume it's a carpet museum. Young Agility is retired. Where is he? There he is. Front left, completely gone. That is what you get for turning in too early. I almost did it myself yesterday. Much easier to do that with the high degradation on the rears around this track. I did say we were starting to quieten down and people get into their rhythms. That will reset absolutely everything. Now, 11 laps to go. If you've got hard tyres, you definitely take it. If you've got fresh hard tyres, you take a pit to go to the end. Like D Summers might be doing. It looks like he is. That's a fresh set of... Let me get the tyre up so we can see it as soon as they do. Yes, a fresh set of hard tyres for the McLaren driver. Homer doing the alternate as a fresh set of mediums get onto his Red Bull. Of course, if you took the standard allocation of tyres, you will only have the one set of hards, and that's why he's on the mediums. Someone's potentially thinking ahead, excuse me, and taking the harder sets to get the two sets of hards. That has paid off for him fantastically here at the end of this. I say the end, there's still plenty of laps to go of this race in Azerbaijan. Rog has stayed out. He doesn't seem to have another set of hards, I would have thought. Inside contains the large collection of Azerbaijani carpets. Fair enough. Are they on the floor? Like you just walk over them? They also have a spoon of jam where they drink tea to sweeten it up. Skipper gets a 10-second penalty for crossing the pit lane exit white line. I've seen that quite a bit here in Division 2. I've never done that myself, I don't think. The pit exit here is a bit funny, I must admit. They have a spoon of jam when they drink tea. Oh, when they okay. They put the jam in the tea, or they just have a spoon of jam in their mouth? I don't know. This is loads of facts, by the way. You don't have to keep getting facts. So there is a race to watch as well. No, just a spoon of jam in the tea, I presume. As if, yeah, like instead of sweetener or sugar, you just put jam in it. That's not bad, I suppose. I don't drink tea, so I would never do it. But maybe you should try it. You drink tea. Excuse me. Right. Last one, they have 9 of the 11 climber zones in Azerbaijan. I didn't think Azerbaijan was that big. They've got 9 of all 11 climber zones. Might be wrong there. Right, back to the race. Anyway, we have Andre, who didn't pit under the safety car. McLaren did the same thing in Qatar, and that cost him dearly, so I assume it will be the same for him. E. Summers started on pole, has led every lap of this race until now, I believe. He's now in P2, of course, with a fresh set of hard tyres. Hummer, P3 for him this entire race. Again, he's just fitted some fresh mediums, though. So he might have a bit of pace to take it to D. Summers at the start of this Start of this restart? Yeah, whatever. Barry Bogorovsky, the other driver who didn't pit under this safety car. Yeah, despite its small size, I think it has 9. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Well, that's what I did say. Fair enough. I assume the two it doesn't have is going to be like deserty, sort of like tundra stuff. It was a long time ago that I did geography and geology A level, and I only just about got them got them done. No idea, mate. That's fair enough. You can stop searching them though. Different things. But thank you very much. That was entertaining, and it was definitely needed with the second safety car. Right. We did it last time. We're going to do it again. We're going to take a look at position changes. As I mentioned already, up the top, Andre and D Summers have swapped, although I don't think that will last for long once the safety car has gone in. Tom Putty, all the way down to Lakatis, have all made places. Have a Connor 7 positions for him. That is good, although you must admit he does need to be about 5th really when you look at his pace, if not further up. Hopefully he can make some more moves once we are back underway. Johnny losing out 4 positions. He was right behind Connor, but after a bit of misfortune and being held up by a couple of other drivers, he's dropped back and he's now back from where he qualified from. Andre finally realizes the mistake he's made. He's going to lose so many positions under this now. He might have a fresher lap on these medium tires. Also, what's he waiting for? Oh, it's just a bug. He was already leaving. It just didn't show on screen. Okay, that was weird. Yeah, that's going to be a massive hindrance to his race. And oh, how the car's left. You Muppet, your internet connection is dodgy as ever. Hopefully you can get in for the race restarts. 8 positions now dropped for the Ferrari driver Andre, and 6 for his teammate. They might be the usual consistent guys, but today they are consistently rubbish, unfortunately. Sorry to say it. I do love you, Pipkey, but today's not been your day. Ombier down in 13th. He's dropped 4 positions. Composite is up 4, and Skipper is down 1. He's racing the back of this pack. He'll have nice warm tyres for the restart, I should have thought. D Summers, of course, inherits P1 once again with Andre pitting for his fresh tyres. Hummer now up to P2. It's the first time he's made a move this entire race into a position other than 3rd, I believe, or net 3rd. Haven't Connor up 8 positions. This is more like it. I know I was just ridiculing him for being P5 when he should be higher, and he only made a position because someone pitted, but he's doing well. You have to say 8 positions around a track like this with as much carnage as we've had is pretty good going. As you may have just seen, the safety car is in this lap. D Summers has inherited the responsibility of facing the rest of the pack. The 2 Kicksabers looks like they might just about get on in the end. Stay on board with backs with Tom Putty. This time we were on board with Summers last time. We waited and see when he went. He did a reasonably good job. Didn't go quite as late as you could do. Still weaving. You could go any second now. And it looks like he's gone. Yep, go, go, go. A little bit of a late getaway from Tom Putty there. He's not under threat, though, from having Connor behind. Hopefully he's back in the session. Homer wasn't caught sleeping, but he's not got anywhere near enough pace to try and get that move into P1. We've got a few positions being made in the back. I think that was Brother Adam going down the inside. A bit of a lock-up for him. Johnny is well on the move. He does not want to be losing positions or being held up in the pack. He's had that plenty this race already. That was a great move into turn 2. Not usually a place people make the move, but Adam gave him plenty of space to do so. Again, NLD Rush just stopping in time, but not hitting the back of Brother Adam. It sounds like he's locking the tyres under every braking zone. Pablo with a new wing, finally. Ooh, I heard a bit of a bang going on there. We've got wing damage. Johnny, wing damage for him. Might try to go up the inside of D-Rush and just not pay it off. A bit of impatience there. He's not good. 2 wide through here is dangerous. But we've done it, I think. Whoa, whoa, what's going on? Whoa! That is someone around in the castle section. They're all pushing each other through. That is a car in the wall. What on earth has happened there? Division 2, come on. We've still got 7 laps of this race remaining. We need a bit of patience. Patience! Come on, Skipper. That's your teammate. You can't be making moves like that. Wow. Okay. Unfortunately, I think Johnny has got some wing damage. Not too bad. But it will affect him ever so slightly. I think the one we saw around was D-Rush, as he's now at the back. Plenty of carnage through that. Impossible to keep up with. The front 6 are deciding to drive away, which of course you would. No one wants to be involved in what we saw there. Why on earth there were drivers trying to go too wide through the castle section? And not only were they trying to maintain too wide, but they were trying to dive down the inside to go too wide through there. Oh, okay. I'm sure that'll be an interesting watch for those involved if they do decide to watch this race back, which they should. It's a fantastic piece of production put together by the entire team, and of course I decided to commentate on this horrendous and brilliant racing. Andre and Pitke made a few positions, only 9 positions lost between them now. I'm sure that was many more for the safety car restart. You will want to stick to the back of Johnny, get a bit of a toe up to the back of Brother Adam and Barry Bogorowski. See if they can make moves themselves on those two in front. Alan Connor is within the DRS and Tom Putty ahead, who looks to be charging the battery already down the straight. No DRS for him means we're going to see a move for the RB, I should think, into turn 1. Down the inside he goes, onto the brakes. He has got that move done well and truly before that. It's not the lap is finished, but the braking zone is finished. That is 9 positions up for him and a fastest lap to boot. Fantastic stuff for the man who's now on the podium. Johnny lose out to Andre then? I'm not sure what happened there. I thought it was Pitke behind. I might have just got that wrong. It was Andre the entire time. He might have made a move on the V-carb driver into turn 1. I do decide to get the 2 drivers mixed up quite a lot, and that goes for all drivers and all teams. Brother Adam's still on the back of the house driver of Barry Bogorowski. Can't get him mixed up with his teammate because he hasn't got one. At least not tonight. Tom Putty maintaining the DRS gap to have a Connor ahead. Doing very well considering the dirty air. We will keep an eye on the rest on the timing tower on the left hand side. We're going to stick on board with Tom Putty. Could see a move for him down in 1. A reasonable getaway for the V-carb driver ahead, but the slipstream just does not do him any favours. Gap slowly coming down. Going back again a little bit. DRS I'm sure will make sure it does come down. Yes it does, but very little battery. Mercedes driver means that he's not going to get close enough unless he thinks about a dive bomb. He surely falls out of it. Brother Adam, however, is going down the inside of Barry Bogorowski. He's got more than enough speed to make that move work. Andre looks to join the party, and Johnny's losing a lot of time now. 2 seconds behind Andre, and he's got his teammate Pitke in DRS. Good measure, 2x2 through turn 1. That's how you do it. Very well done. He rushed there, who I believe has made a move on composite. Not close enough for Bombardier this time around on Skipper. Ricky just dropped out that DRS now, and Johnny gaining a little bit of time on the two in front. Maybe just had a slip up on one of the previous laps. Andre is going particularly well. He will be looking to make a move on Brother Adam after losing 4 positions in this race so far, and Brother Adam gaining 8. A little bit of storing of balance. Back down to 3 and back down to 7. Six-tenths the gap now. It's coming down by, wow, really quickly actually. He's definitely going to make the move on Brother Adam here. No questions asked. And a move being made back behind Johnny, getting past Barry Bogorowski. I just pulled over for him there. Didn't make it too hard at all. Composite and D-Rush going at it. Oh no, sorry, D-Rush is coming to the pits. Very, very late pit considering we only have 4 laps left. 23, 24, 25, and 26. Have Connor almost within that 1 second gap of Hummer in front. On Putty still retaining it behind. We've got a yellow flag for Skipper and Pombier. That's a shame. 10-second penalty given to Skipper there, but likely, well, may have been deserved. But those are usually given out when they are not deserved as well. We got a full force yellow virtual safety car. There's no yellow dot as I can see just yet, likely because of the damage that he received. Pablo got a drive through at this stage. You have to say that is likely going to be his race finished. He's in P10 for now, but that will be lost. Pombier says he's 18 seconds behind, but I don't think that's true. Guys all up at the front, no DRS of course for them under the VSC. That means that Connor has lost a lap to gain position. He's very far behind Hummer. Wasn't this far behind before the VSC. Maybe playing it incredibly safe after the incident he had yesterday. Look at the tyres just to see who has the advantage. All 8 laps for the top 4. Andre 6 laps for him. Hummer got a 20-second time penalty for speeding under VSC. I'm going to assume that is because there's only 2 laps of this race remaining after this one. That is his race finished, and I mean finished. 20 seconds is humongous. For a man in P2, he's going to lose out on a lot of points because of that. That means Havoc Connor is basically guaranteed for P2 as long as he can keep it on track. And Hummer has decided to DNF on track. Well, you know, I'm not going to comment on that because I'm sure there'll be plenty of comments made by other people after this race has concluded. P. Summers has it easy by the looks of it. 3.5 seconds the gap he will have to maintain. He's on the better tyre at this stage. The mediums will be much more worn on after 8 laps. Be careful, Con, of that front wing. You still have positions to retain. You do not want to lose out to Tom Putty. Barry pitted. So Boggs pitted actually. I didn't realise this, but a few people have pitted onto the soft tyre. People must have done that a few laps ago, but Bog is right on the back of Pombier on a fresh set of socks. Lakatis is on some 4-lap-old socks. Pavlo, 0-lap-old mediums, and LD Rush on a 1-lap-old sock as well. Plenty of wear in these for 3 laps, or well, it's 2 laps now, but that will not be an issue for those guys. Tom Putty has gotten back into DRS for Havoc Connor. that hard tyre will be doing him plenty of favours at this stage of the race. Keep an eye on Bog. He looks like he's definitely got this move done with the massive advantage he has on tyres. Plus, there's a bit of wing damage there for the Williams driver. DRS and DRS gets that move done well before the braking of turn 1. He might be going for fastest lap on this lap. We will have to wait and see. Tom Putty again, still in at DRS, losing a little bit of time. The dirty air will be pulling him back away from the V-car a little bit. Andre 7 seconds behind those two. Brother Adam 2 seconds behind him, with Johnny right on the tail. Both on the same amount of lap old hard tyres. They've got a bit of racing to do in this last lap and a half. We've got a Aston Martin and a Sauber not making the braking of turn 2 or turn 3 respectively. Do not get in the way of the rush very much. He will overtake you as well. I believe you might have had some wing damage. Yes, no wing for Skipper. That is a change for him. Hopefully you'll be able to get the car around in one piece. Well, in what's left of it, I mean. Haven't Connor playing a reasonably smart move here, letting him get side by side early on. He might have the DRS, but he's not going to gain a huge amount of time on him. Pombeer is out. He's flat, but you can be caught out sometimes. The rear likely when he's got the right front completely off the car. That is his race finished with literally a lap and a half to go. That is disastrous for a man who was in the points. This is our hottest fight, of course, for P2. There it is, Barry Bogorowski sets the fastest lap of a 42.9. That was basically guaranteed after he pitted for his soft tyres. O'Connor just needs to stay within that DRS, build up the battery, and absolutely gun it down the final straight to try and take P2. Both of them doing very well on the ERS management front. Just edging towards that 1 second gap though. Ooh, he almost went into the wall there, just had to correct it very last second. 1.2 the gap now. Those medium tyres not holding on for the last lap of this race. DRS is being used to get back into that DRS detection point. We will jump on board with Summers as he crosses the line, but of course we will go straight back to these guys who are racing. Havoc Connor in P3 looking to take P2. He's got much closer coming out of the final corner. In fact, D Summers, you can absolutely go and do one. You've had a fantastic race. We want to watch the action. 8/10 the gap, 7 now. DRS is going to be open. DRS not much there. He's weaving to try and break the slipstream towards the final finish line for these guys. Havoc Connor finishes 4/10 behind there. Looks like these guys also aren't going to make any moves. DRS not doing the job for many people tonight on the final lap. Barry Bogorowski far away on the soft tyres. That's fine. He still picks up P8 and composite P9 on those mediums. The gaps way too large. And we have a bit of garnish at the end just for good measure. Skipper didn't pit for a fresh wing, so he's carrying on the last lap with some likely incredibly worn tyres, and it just should be in a million pieces by now. How he hasn't hit the wall again is reasonably impressive. Pavlo in P12. Wow, okay. D Summers is your man for tonight's race. Never really looked in doubt. Plenty of pace from start to finish. Strategy was under control. Just a solid race from the McLaren man. I'm sure he'll be more than pleased with how that has come out, with all the carnage that has gone on behind. He'll be thanking everyone who was involved. Great big wreath for him there. Of course, the next two on the podium was Havoc Connor in P3, who couldn't quite make the move on Tom Putty in the end. Might have had a 5-second penalty. Well, that's about. Oh, sorry, that's off the leader. Yeah, so basically half a tenth between Tom Putty and Connor in the end. DRS not doing but 12 positions. No, sorry, started in 12th and gained all those positions to get onto P3 on the podium is great for him. Andre in P4 down from P2. It's a shame, but again, the Ferrari drivers, it's just keeping their consistency up in the end. Not the best of races, but I'm sure that will do them well in the constructors, even though the VCARs have done a P3 and P6. Boggs sets the fastest lap on the soft tire at the end by a good margin. The only man in the 42s. Yeah, it looks like that is the case. Hummer was on for P2, but got 20 seconds worth of penalties and decided to DNF on track. You silly boy, don't do that again. Thank you very much. D-Rush in 11th, Pavlo, Keeper 13th, Ombeer 14th, and Hummer, the last one to DNF. First win, apparently, for D Summers in DTR. That's fantastic stuff. I didn't realise that, actually. Hellboy congratulating him in the chat. GG everyone from Andre. And some other words from Johnny I will not repeat on stream. Let's never do this again. Yeah, you might not be wrong, Benny, but there's plenty of fantastic racing that you can get out of this track, and you just need some good drivers to do it. And we have seen some. Anyway, that was Azerbaijan, round 6 of season 14 DTR. I'm just taking a look now to see where we are next week. I believe it is Texas, but I'm just going to double check. Yes, it is Texas. It is, well, everything's bigger in Texas, apparently. Not that I would know. Of course, I'll be here again on Thursday next week for Division 2, but before that, Division 1 will be on Wednesday. You'll see me racing and D Summers commentating. That is all sorted. I believe that is halfway through the season now. So, although we might have our leaders, there's still plenty of races to go for that to change around. Finally, I have been Greta33. This has been Division 2 of DTR. I hope you enjoyed. I certainly did. We will be back next week. See you later.